Good evening, my darling batlings, and I'm happy to see you there in chat, Iron. I hope everyone's had a good day. But I actually got up at a reasonable hour today, so that's a thing that I'm still shocked about. I'm joined tonight by Miles Above, Nico Belmont, and JKR. Miles and Nico are currently AFK, so JKR is the only one right here right now.
Aren't I always, though? I seem to be like the only one you could depend upon.
Not always. There are times where you're not around. Like if I stream on Saturday, you won't be around.
That's true. That is true.
But, yeah, like I said on my schedule, which you probably saw if you looked on Blue Sky or in my server, because those are really the only two places that I post my schedules, we're doing a mystery game tonight. I know what it is. The others do not know what it is. Say, JKR.
Yes?
What do you think about failed mascot platformers?
I love me some mascot platformers, and I'm always curious to see ones that failed.
What do you think about failed mascot platformers that are a 3D platformer that star a failed mascot starting with the letter B?
Not Bubsy.
It's not Bubsy 3D, although I am going to try and scare Nico with that. I was planning to, at least, if he was here. It is... Oh, Miles is back.
Hi.
I was about to reveal what the mystery game for tonight is.
I made it in time.
And I think I just saw Nico's thing light up. Yep, he is back.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Did we start or?
Yeah, we're here. We're live.
Oh, okay. I just popped in to let you know. Me and Lulu are gonna make pizza in a moment. We had to reach out to her work about Friday.
Okay. Do you mind sticking around for just long enough for me to reveal what tonight's mystery game is?
Of course. Also, Friday is supposed to be 5 degrees and potential heavy snow.
Yeah, we're supposed to get snow on Friday, too.
Yeah, apparently, Illinois is going to be getting... Illinois and Wisconsin are getting the same thing as you guys are.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. So I do like the random song that pulled up is Sky Troopers from Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, Sky Troops from Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh, God.
Troops,
but,
sorry, not Troopers.
As for what the mystery game is tonight, I got some questions for you, Nico.
I'm terrified. What?
How do you feel about 3D platformers?
I could have 2 guesses.
How do you feel about 3D platformers starring a failed mascot whose name starts with the letter B?
Bubsy 3D, am I right?
No. Surprise,
Okay.
bitches! We're playing Balan Wonderworld!
What is that?
Never heard of that.
Oh, that was a big punching bag in 2020, 2021. It was supposed to be the grand reunion of Yuji Naka and Naoto Oshima, the two people behind the original Sonic the Hedgehog games. Like, Naoto Oshima was the one who created the Sonic character. Yuji Naka was the lead programmer for the classic Sonic games, except for Sonic CD and Knuckles Chaotix, and went on to be the Sonic series producer up until he left abruptly during Sonic 06's development.
Okay.
And it was made by his new, like, kinda internal studio during his brief time at Square Enix. This was their one time trying to make a mascot platformer from a company known for RPGs.
I was gonna say a couple, like a decade or so, a couple decades late, don't you think, to make a platformer by an RPG company?
It's supposed to be it was marketed as a spiritual successor to Nights into Dreams.
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
And it went on to be such a catastrophic failure that it not only ended Yuji Naka's career, more or less, but in the fallout of it, he was arrested and convicted of insider trading.
Jeez.
And he proceeded to burn every bridge he had along the way, just calling out everyone except for himself, the director of the project, for backstabbing him.
So he basically had an oversized tantrum about it.
Yeah, and it led to a lot of people that used to work at Sega back in the 90s talking about how much of a diva he was. And, like, exposed how he took a lot of credit for the work of other people to build up his portfolio. As, like, you know, the creator of Sonic.
Oh, boy.
I've played it before. Haven't beaten it. But, I've played most of it. And apparently it's got some really convoluted, like, Unlock Luigi and Super Mario 64 level bullshit in it that it does not even hint at the existence of. Because the game is horrible at explaining its even most basic mechanics.
So what you're saying is it barely qualifies as a game.
What if I told you it's perfectly functional? It works as designed. It's not buggy. It's just that the intended design is inherently stupid from the start. Like, how about this? It's a 3D mascot platformer where you collect multiple costumes that each have different abilities. You know, like Kirby. If it were a 3D platformer before Kirby got a 3D platformer game, right? Now, what if I told you every single button on the controller does the same action, and whether you can jump or not is determined by what costume you have equipped?
So again, barely functions as a game, because if you're that limited on controls and the gimmick is mainly on how well you can do platforming in a platformer, mainly a 3D platformer, by costumes. Yeah, I don't count that as a game. I count that as a headache and a nightmare.
What if I also told you that Balan, the mascot of the game, is not even the character you play as?
What?
The character whose name is in the title and who is on all of the marketing material and who's on the fucking box and title screen of the game is not the main character. He's just kind of there.
Huh? What? Who does that? Who markets
Yuji Naka does that!
Yeah, so again, it barely functions as a game, let alone a 3D platformer, and to top it all off, it doesn't even use the character that they have on front box.
Like, technically you can play as him in a series of QuickTime event minigames, but that's it.
QuickTime event minigames still doesn't count as full-on gameplay. It's
QuickTime event
and hope to God you did well.
QuickTime event minigames where you have to get the timing perfect on every single input in order for it to count as winning. If you get,
so again, it's a piece of shit.
Like, you have to, like, it's a collectathon platformer. Sort of like Mario 64 or Banjo-Kazooie. And the QuickTime events count towards that. But, like, you have to get perfects on all of them. If you get, like, 3 perfects and a very good, you still failed. You might as well have gotten them all wrong.
Oh, jeez.
So, yeah, I'll say this again. It barely functions as a game.
Yeah, it's a fascinating thing to deconstruct how a game can be functional, as in, like, it's not broken and it's not buggy, but the way it functions is just objectively not good.
Okay, so let me rephrase what I've said. It's not even like it's barely functional game story-wise
Oh, don't get me started on the story. I'll save that for later.
Okay.
I'll wait till you get back to get started on my issues with the story. But we'll go ahead and start. You can pop off and do what you need to do.
All right, I will return.
I'll get pop.
And shall we get started on Yuji Naka's magnum opus, or should I say magnum anus?
Oh my gosh.
It's a masterpiece of shit.
Oh, jeez. I feel like I've heard of this, but for the life of me, it doesn't ring a bell all that well, anyway.
Let's see, game capture is not wanting to pick it up, so let me force it.
Yeah, blue screen.
There we go.
Hey,
Even in the menus, everything is one button. There is no back button on the controller for menus.
Play with a friend?
Yeah, there's 2-player. It breaks the platforming sections if you have the right costumes equipped.
Oh no.
Oh, jeez.
As people quickly discovered, if you have 2 characters with costumes equipped that let you glide, you can just trade off who's gliding at the moment since you're linked at the hip, and you can just glide infinitely.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, when did this game come out?
2021!
Oh my fucking god.
The music's not terrible, but like...
Yeah, the music's good. And the art direction is fantastic. It's wasted on this. It's also got like some beautiful cutscenes that look like they belong in a movie, and it's wasted on this. So all this in mind sounds like a recipe for a game I would want to avoid. I mean, it's commonly available for dirt cheap, but I wouldn't recommend picking it up unless you're a connoisseur of trash like me. All right, are we going to play as a boy or a girl?
Yes. This
is alright, and they offer like 4 skin tones / hair colors for each, and I will give them credit. The cutscenes are pre-rendered videos, and they actually went to the effort of rendering 8 versions of the cutscenes because 4 color palettes each.
And the character designs aren't even that bad either for what they're going for.
Yeah. I'm saying we play as the girl.
Yeah.
It doesn't
name is something else.
Emma Cole or Leo Craig. So we're playing as Emma Cole. You know what? We're playing as this Emma Cole.
It's basically Pokemon's character screen. Oh yeah, you're right. This could be in like a Pixar movie.
Yeah, the pre-rendered cutscenes were made by Square Enix's internal CGI studio, Visual Design, I think it's called.
I can definitely see some like Final Fantasy-esque like
it's the internal CGI studio that they made after following Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within.
Gotcha, because I can see kind of like the art style screaming Final Fantasy. Like, not like the characters, but like the actual like background.
Yeah.
Games Final Fantasy and even Kingdom Hearts. I was about to make a joke and say it's a twonky.
Not a twonky, although nice deep cut reference. They do have a name.
What is it?
So, this game kind of tries to incorporate chow mechanics into it. with these little birdie things that follow you around, and you can like feed them stuff and breed them to get different varieties of them. This is an entire like system that the game doesn't even hint at the existence of. And it's tied to a secret unlockable that, again, it does not hint to the existence of. That sounds like some of that, you know, Playground Unlock Luigi and Super Mario 64 bullshit. But it's real.
Is this creating the idea that there are two separate universes right now because there's literally reflections of each other in each other's mirrors?
I don't know. But this is Balan. This is our knights for the game.
It kind of looks like frickin' a Foster Son for Imaginary Friends character.
The best way I've heard him described, which was today in an old Zero Punctuation episode, was he looks like Willy Wonka if he were a Pokemon.
Yeah, I can see that.
And everyone speaks a made-up gibberish language in this game.
Gotcha. Oh my gosh.
For a moment, I thought they were legit speaking in Japanese.
Nope, there are 30 language options, and all it does is determine the subtitles.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, this guy screams that, like, Foster Son for Imaginary Friends guy.
Honestly, it screams to me like it, like it almost like this whole sequence kind of reminds me of him, almost like he's the genie from Aladdin.
Yeah. This is the most you're going to see of him. Welcome to the Isle of Tims. They are called Tims. T-I-M. There are some who call them Tim. Welcome to our hub world. You can't name them.
Aw, stinks. Need to be named Tim Tams.
Yeah, Tim Tams are delicious. I had some a few years ago.
I know. I found some, I think, at Target the other day, and they're just so good.
I got them for Christmas for my grandma and grandpa.
Yeah, Tim Tams are good.
All right, so we have a level to go to, a world to go to.
They got corn in their ears.
They got corn. You have to stand here and wait for the door to appear before you can enter the level.
And I guess the 1 and 2 mean player?
No, it's Act 1 and Act 2.
Oh, okay. My bad.
It's got a little bit of Sonic to its design, like Act 1, Act 2, and then a boss act.
And I won't lie, like what they did for their their actual artwork was actually kind of nice. Like,
yeah, this whole stage unfolding and revealing more to it. I believe this is the only time the game does that.
And there's corn as collectibles, I assume?
No, these are, I can't remember what these are called. They're just like gems that you collect and feed to the Tims. Alright, look at these guys. Look at these guys. What do you think of them? Are they friend or foe?
Probably foe.
Neither. They disappear when you approach them.
They're ghosts.
Oh, they go. I joke about Call the Ghostbusters, but there was a controversy about one of the songs in this, in one of the levels in this game being plagiarized from the Ghostbusters soundtrack.
Oh. You gotta be kidding.
I'm not joking. The Firehouse theme from Ghostbusters is used for the theme of one of the levels involving the fireman character.
Okay, I need to hear this when we get to that point. That's hilarious.
Late in the game. It probably won't be tonight.
That's fine.
So, you have to collect keys to get the costumes. We got our first costume. Tornado Wolf. Which sounds like a Maverick name from Mega Man X.
Yeah, it does.
So we gotta call Luigi.
Yeah, we gotta call Luigi. So, was Tornado Wolf do? That is all it can do.
So it literally just does an up B from Smash Brothers. Got it.
Yes, that is the only mechanic it has to it.
I guess simple is better to an extent.
What if I told you there are 80 costumes, each of which only have one very specific function?
Say what now?
There are 80 costumes throughout the game. Each of them only do one specific thing.
How can they justify having 80 like different mechanics being used with a costume? Like, that's weird.
That was part of what Yuji Naka wanted this game to be. He was like, I want 80 different costumes, each of which has its own unique function. That's why everything is one button, so everyone can remember. So like stupid little kids that are playing this don't get confused by the controls, and everyone with a brain is like, okay, but like why 80? And like, why not just have a smaller number of costumes and give them multiple functions, like 2 or 3. Map them to some of the other face buttons, so the controls are still simple, but there's a lot less fluff to the game, which also means spending less time on having to design and render and rig and animate and do collision for 80 different versions of the character. Technically 160 because there's 2 player. Fuck, the math is mathing because there's 4 variants of each gender of player character.
Does the hair color show in that skin, that shirt, in that all?
Not in this one, but not in most of the costumes. But the skin tone and eye color does.
Oh, that's right. So that means that's freaking 100. It's 80 times 4. That's 320.
Maestro of Mystery, collect your first Balan statue. These are stars or jiggies, putting them in collect-a-thon terms. The more statues you gather, the more worlds you can visit. I promise to reappear when I see fit. Which is not all that often, Balan. It's like, why are you the mascot of this game if we don't play as you? Ah, yes, I understood that.
Because I didn't.
It means walk through the mirror to get to the other side of this fence.
Jeez.
It works if you just don't try to apply logic to this. Which is very hard for me.
Yeah.
Now, you ready to see how combat works? Also, this is our villain.
I mean, I will say this. It has some interesting designs, but that's about
Naoto Oshima was the character and enemy designer for this game, and he did a fantastic job, as he always does. It's just a shame that his great art was wasted on something like this.
Yeah. Oh, new costume.
Yeah.
Like, he was the one who designed Sonic, the character.
Huh. Yeah.
Alright, here's our second costume. Say hello to Jumping Jack.
Let me guess, jumps higher.
It does a flutter jump. It's a Yoshi jump. Also, despite being called Jumping Jack, it's not a jackrabbit, it's a kangaroo.
Yeah, I noticed the tail.
And the pouch.
But yeah, the pouch too.
So you may be wondering, how does this gameplay work? The shoulder buttons, L1 and R1, are for cycling between the costumes.
Are costumes permanent?
No. You lose them if you get hit, and you can only hold 3 at a time. If you pick up a 4th one, it knocks one of them off.
Gotcha.
What the fuck?
Now, there is a storage system to them, where you can take them to a storage room to save them and, like, stock them up, so if you want to, like, bring a specific costume to another level for some forced backtracking, where like, oh, you can't get this statue without this costume. You can do that. The game just doesn't tell you.
Jeez.
And this is it. This is well into the age of games not coming with manuals, so good luck figuring that out.
Like, there's no excuse for this shit.
Yeah, there's no excuse for a lot of the boneheaded design decisions with this game. And it's not like, it's a rare case of it not being like, you know, Square Enix interfering with a product and making it worse. The problem was they were too hands-off with it. Like, they basically left Yuji Naka and his team to do whatever Yuji Naka's heart desired, with no oversight.
So basically, they left him unsupervised.
Yes. Now, he claims he was kicked off the project before it released. We don't have any evidence to corroborate that, and he doesn't state when in the development process he was kicked off. But everyone else who's worked on it has said that, you know, has not said anything that corroborates what he's alleged. So,
I mean, indeed.
Yeah.
given that, well, first of all, given that he's a convicted felon, and second of all, given that he has a notorious diva vibe to him, you know, never my fault, and all at the same time, it's all because of me that the game is good. It's hard to take him at his word.
Yeah.
Don't you just love when it's like, oh, you want to get up here? Oh, you can't, it just doesn't go high enough. Oh, bad luck. Like, want to get up here? Oh, you just barely can't make it.
It's terrible.
And like these spider webs here. Oh, what could that be? Oh, you need the spider costume from the third world. That its only function is that it can climb up webs.
Jeez.
Also, hi, farmer. Bye, farmer. Penny from Snapcube has taken to calling him Farmer Ted. I believe his name is Jose Gavallo. I'm not making that up. If I remember correctly, that is his canon name. All these characters have canon names. It's just none of them, except for Balan, Leo, and Emma, are told to you in-game. There is something else that tells you, but I'm saving that for when Nico gets back. Also, see this hat here? Oh, there's Balan. You did well to find me, little one. Now I shall let you have a bit of fun. Harness my powers well enough, and I will give you some great stuff. He always speaks in rhyme.
Jeez.
Why is he speaking rhyme? Whimsy, that's why.
Just fuck you, that's why.
Sure. Balan, these are the only sections where you get to play as Balan.
Seriously?
Yeah. Tap A when Balan Shadow lines up with Balan. These are obnoxious QuickTime events, because you have to make sure it lines up perfectly, or else it doesn't count. Like, that was an excellent. I don't know if that counts or not. Mash A when lots of Balan Shadows appear. How do you tell if you got that one right? Oh no, a rock! You see how it could be a pain in the ass to figure out where the shadow lines up with him, right? I'm not the only one who thinks that, from a, like, visual standpoint.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, depending on what camera angle you're at, it could be horrible.
Yeah, and the fact that it's a pose that he's not yet in that you have to line up with. It's not just like, oh, match it up as he crosses the screen. It's like, wait for the camera to turn around and for him to get into the right pose.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I got that one right. Hooray. If I got even one of those slightly off, it would have not counted at all.
He's really?
And if you want to try it again, you don't just, like, exit and re-enter. No, you have to beat the boss fight for the world in order to be able to try it again.
That's stupid.
Really.
So that means I would have to beat level 2 and then the World 1 boss, just to get another shot at that fucking minigame.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, this is the end of the stage.
Tree people.
So what'd you gather about how this game works from the first stage? Did any of that make sense to you?
No.
Nope.
Good, you just understood the game.
You understand it by not understanding it.
Alright, this Tim wants to be fed. Since everything is mapped to one button, I have to figure out how the fuck do I feed it.
Oh no.
Even the triggers are jump. But only when you can jump. I can pick it up. How do I feed it?
Is there a feed button? Like a feed
No,
location?
no. Oh, yeah, you have to stand in the flowers to feed them. That makes sense.
Not.
Oh, and
you leave them there and then
they're
they
color
go.
coordinated. So you can only feed the red flower. You can only feed them red gems in the red flowers. If you want to feed them the yellow gems, you have to feed it to them in the yellow flowers.
Oh, I think that one they're changing colors a little bit.
Yeah, this is part of that like whole Chow-styled mechanic system to it that the game does not teach you about. There's a whole, like, breeding and, like, generational offspring system to this. Nothing in the game tells you this. And it is required for 100% completion. Which I am not doing. Fuck no. So, like, okay, this Tim has gotten big. That means if it cooperates... Okay, I guess I have to pick up the little one after these guys eat. You can throw Tims at each other once they've gotten big, and then they will breed.
Oh, those two already.
Can I pick you up? Oh, of course not. Great, now I can't pick any of them up.
The fuck?
There's also an egg here. The egg hatches into another Tim.
It's blue.
Yeah, this one's blue. Can I pick you up, please? Please, game, cooperate. Can't even abuse them like you can in the Chow Garden, so even if you're like that kind of sadistic asshole, you can't have fun with it. So, you see how these Tims are like doing a thing here?
Yeah.
And you see that counter that says 3?
Yeah.
And then 4? That means that there are 4 Tims here. Where'd the 5? Sorry, the Tims have to work on this. To work together to get this counter up to 30 to start building the Tower o' Tims.
Oh.
It builds a big, basically like fun house slide for them to play on.
Oh, jeez, really?
What does this accomplish gameplay-wise? Abso-fucking-lutely nothing!
Ugh.
People thought, like, okay, if I spend enough time to get, like, You have to get it up into the upper thousands for it to get to, like, its final stage of completion. If you complete the tower, nothing happens. It does not unlock anything. It's just there.
Just because.
I know I often say, why not? Dare I say, why not? And I blame you for that, JKR. But, like, sometimes you should just say why.
Yeah.
Can I pick you up, please?
Hold on, Witch is coming in.
All right, we're about to see some hot Tim on Tim action. There you go. That's how Tims breed.
They
Through
stomp
yeeting
each other.
Through yeeting them at each other.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I walked away. I missed it. What?
That's how Tims breed. You just throw them at each other once one of them has gotten big and fat.
Oh, jeez.
Watch. That was...
Yeah, you have to make sure it hits, too.
That's it?
That's it. Oh, and you can only hatch one egg at a time. Also, you might not be able to make it out right here, but, like, this pink Tim has a badge on him.
Yep, I saw that.
You have to... Part of the breeding system to unlock the, like, big secret costume in this game that utterly breaks the platforming entirely is, you have to, like, breed your Tims in a specific way that, you get 2 with 4 badges on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you get the badges, it just kind of happens. There is a system to it, I just haven't bothered to look it up. Then, you get a random chance, completely up to RNGesus, of them breeding and producing a Tim with a crown.
Oh.
And then, after enough tries that you get one of them to create a Tim with a crown, feed that one enough to where it gets big. Then you can pick it up, and it will carry you to a secret island that contains the secret costume. And if you lose that secret costume, you have to do it all over again.
Oh, jeez.
You can't carry multiple of it. It's the only one you can't just go back and store up multiples of.
Yeah. Who writes this trash?
Or it says, yo ho ho, what fuckery be this? You should be in bed for it. But it's Balan Wonderworld, a masterclass in how not to design a 3D platformer in the year of our Lord 2021. Anyway, the name of the stage was The Man Who Rages Against the Storm. Which is, like, that sounds like an Iron Maiden song title to me.
Yeah, kinda does.
Also, you see how the world's kind of, like, unfolding?
Oh, yeah.
This is the only stage that does that.
Oh, of course.
There's a farmer again. And there he goes. Alright, we got another costume to try out. Behold!
Dragon.
The Dainty Dragon. It spits fireballs.
That's cool.
Ow.
Or it can spit out very short-range flamethrower. It cannot jump. This is what I'm talking about with everything being mapped to one button being an inherently boneheaded design decision. So, like, if I want to jump, I have to switch over to a costume that can jump. And it's like, it's not like the game's necessarily broken because of this, because the levels are designed with this limitation in mind. But it gets incredibly tedious because you have that whole wind-up animation when you switch costumes, and you have to see it every time. Also, the fact that you have to get the keys to unlock the costumes, when the keys and the costumes are 9 times out of 10 right next to each other. This is the Elastiplant. It lets you stretch your torso really far and then jump.
That'd make me uncomfortable.
There are some costume designs that give me the Ghiblies, because they got some, like, body horror going on that they didn't intend.
I don't think they thought about it at all.
So, like, in what case would you use this? Just, like, this and nothing else. Just for getting stuff that's barely out of reach. Like that. Like, why couldn't I just get that with a jump? Why do I need a costume dedicated to just stretching your body in order to grab that? This costume doesn't need to exist. That's the big problem with the whole, like, we have 80 costumes for this one game approach to this game's design, is a lot of them are like, okay, but why does this need to be a separate costume with its own unique design and function? Why couldn't it just be, like, you jump and get it? Oh, time for a minigame! Footballer. The footballer costume is used exclusively for a soccer minigame. And by that, I mean target shooting.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, dear. Nice shot! Yay! Left bumper plus right bumper to return to the title screen. Not to quit the minigame, to return to the title screen.
Ay, ay, ay.
That's all that costume does. You can't even carry it with you to other levels. It is for that one minigame only. If you want to play it again because you didn't get a perfect score, beat the boss and then come back to this level. Also, like, the whole, oh, the world unfolds as you approach it. You know, visually cool idea. Gives me motion sickness.
Yeah.
Also, as Miles correctly pointed out earlier, there's not much combat in this game. Which makes me wonder why so many of the costumes have attack functions. If you're almost at... Oh! Okay. Okay, that was a thing. You're trying to bring logic into a game that has nonsensical design from top to bottom.
I'm scared, Ari.
You should be. I fear what lies within the mind of convicted felon Yuji Naka. What evil lies within the hearts of men? Only the Shadow knows, but even the Shadow does not know what the fuck Yuji Naka was thinking.
Anyway, guys, I'm actually getting a little out of energy, so I am going to hop out now.
Okay.
Tell Nico I said good night, and that I hope he and Lulu stay warm.
I will.
Bye, JKR.
Yeah, I'll probably be hanging around in the chat, but I'll most likely be lurking.
Okay.
Anyway, you both have a good night. I'll talk to you some other night this week.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I'm getting tired too. I'm gonna stick around just because I'm not that tired yet.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, combat!
Yep. What if I told you there was a sliding difficulty system to this game?
Say what now?
As in, the game adjusts, like, how often combat encounters happen, and how difficult the enemy types are, based on how you play. What if I told you that's a thing that they hyped up as, like, a revolutionary feature? Even though I can name 2 games off the top of my head that did that at least a decade in advance. 2 decades in advance.
Oh, gosh.
Spyro 3 and Resident Evil 4. Except in this game, what amounts to... In this game, what amounts to is not, like, you know, actively adjusting the challenge on the fly to make it constantly satisfying in accordance to your skill level, like it is in those games, so it's never too easy or too hard. What amounts to in this game is whether you actually get to engage with the combat mechanics or whether you just don't encounter enemies at all.
Speaking of Resident Evil, did you see the new trailer for the new one?
Nope.
Are you trying to keep it spoiler-free for yourself in case you do?
Yes, because Capcom loads their trailers with spoilers.
Okay, so I will not tell you about anything then, because I saw it and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Like, Capcom spoiled Virgil's return in Devil May Cry 5 in the final trailer for the game, where they just straight up showed Virgil coming back.
Yeah, they basically had a gameplay trailer for the current build.
Yeah.
For the new one, and they showed all the characters, and I was like, why did you do this?
Yeah, that's why I tend not to follow, like, trailers for Capcom games, because it's like, okay, that's cool. Wish I could have figured that out for myself instead of you just showing it to me in a trailer months before the game comes out.
Yeah, I kind of just watched it, and I was like, okay, cool. This is what's involved. Okay, I'm good. Although I do have hope for it, kind of.
Yeah, I've got hope for it too. Resident Evil's been on a roll lately. If you exclude their multiple failed attempts at trying to make a multiplayer game out of Resident Evil, competitive multiplayer game out of Resident Evil, and if you exclude the Resident Evil 3 remake, which even they admit was just a B-team project to pad out the release schedule.
Mm-hmm. They definitely took some stuff from other older games. And I'll leave it at that. Indiana Jones moment.
Except the ball follows you. And you have to guide it. You have to guide it into the hole.
So the purple stuff probably doesn't do anything but spawn enemies, I'm assuming.
No, it just damages you.
Oh.
Which means you touch it, you lose a costume.
So then what starts these spawns of these enemies? Is it just randomized? Like you walk over there and they just spawn?
More or less, that's where the whole like active challenge tuning system comes into play. Based on how good or bad you are at the game, that determines whether you actually get to fight enemies.
Oh my gosh.
As well as whether they take 1 hit to kill, or whether they take 2 hits to kill, or, dare I say it, even 3.
Is that the highest it goes to 3?
I'm pretty sure.
Getcha.
I still...
Is that a checkpoint?
I don't know.
I wonder if that's like a checkpoint where they celebrate you getting to it, and that's why
I don't think so, because the first stage didn't do that.
I don't know then. It's just
also
like
the only function of this costume is you can do a ground pound.
Yeah, I saw the name.
Yeah. The only thing it does differently, you can still jump, but now you can do a ground pound, and you have a little hover. So it's the jumping jack, except it can ground pound. Like, it's a mechanic that could have easily been combined with, like, half the costumes in this game and didn't need to be its own separate costume.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, I'm talking as someone who studied game design for a couple years. There's so much of this game that's redundant in terms of the costumes it offers and the abilities they offer. Oh no! It's a mini-boss!
Shoot fire. I guess the masks are like the HP bar of sorts almost.
They just all wear masks. Wow, this is such an engaging fight, isn't it?
I know, right? Oh no. Oh, never mind. You're good. I thought you hit you. You want me to hit you right when you hit it.
Nope.
So can those little guys get hurt?
No. They follow you throughout the stage. They can get lost. They can get trapped by other enemies. If all of them aren't with you at the end of the stage, you can't complete the stage.
So it's not like you accidentally leave them in a mission and you
No. They do a good job. They tend to do a good job of following. They do a good job of following you, but, like, there are certain enemies that only exist to, like, trap them until you defeat them. And if you leave one of them behind, even one of them behind, and get to the end of the stage, oops, you can't complete the stage. You have to go back and get the dumbass that got caught.
Jeez. They almost sound like an Eevee.
I'm back, sorry.
Welcome back. We're about to enter our first boss fight.
Yeah, sorry. It took 20 minutes to cook the pizza.
It's okay. I don't know how to explain what you missed out on other than the opening cutscene.
It's fine.
Because it's all a bunch of nonsense.
It really is.
Yeah. Well, from how you described it earlier, I am not going to ask, just for the sheer fact that
we got a cutscene, and the cutscenes are beautiful.
Yeah, they are. They're great.
It's a farmer. He's tending to the crops, which is corn.
You see the scarecrow that looks like a resident non-playable character, except for those one missions.
Now there's a storm, a tornado, anti-M, it's a twister.
It's not going to take it in Oz, sadly.
The tornado has angry eyes. That's
so it's
it.
A twister from Super Mario.
Up.
Is that like a corruption?
He's getting corrupted by the evil Balan, whose name is Lance, by the way. The game doesn't tell you.
Balan to Lance.
Balance.
Balance. Oh wow. Great.
Balance.
It just pokes him.
Yeah, it just pokes him with one of it.
I'm disappointed.
It just pokes him with one of his tentacles, and then he screams in agony. And now we have to fight him as a boss. And obviously as a farmer who is scared of tornadoes, he takes the form of a big wolf.
Oh my gosh, this is where does wolf come from though? How do you get wolf from farmer? I'm confused.
How do you get wool from a farmer? A wolf hunts sheep.
Yes, but he didn't have sheep.
Farmer.
He was a corn farmer, not a sheep farmer.
It's supposed to be a never mind.
I'll give you the answer. All the boss fights are basically hodgepodges of costumes you've collected throughout that world.
Okay.
I get it. Yeah,
That's the only coherent theming to the boss design. Like, he's the tornado wolf, so he shoots tornadoes. I say tornado wolf. The tornado wolf is the first costume we got. It's a wolf that surrounds itself in a tornado. When you jump, that's all it does.
That's corrupted versions of the costumes you have, basically.
Yes. And you have to hit it 3 times. You can get up to 3 Balan statues from each fight by hurting it in each of the 3 specific ways. What ways are they? Game doesn't tell you.
I'm assuming using different suits.
It involves using different costumes, but there's only 2 per stage, per boss fight. So you have to make sure you bring the right 3rd one with you.
Gotcha.
Oh, and now he is purified. Now get ready for the scene that launched a million memes and cemented this game's status as just, you know, roll up, everyone look at the freak.
Oh, gosh.
Y'all ready for a choreographed dance number?
What the heck? This is Lazy Town mixed with Sonic.
Except, it's in a made-up language. And there are English versions. You have to 100% the game to unlock the English translations of the songs.
That's so stupid. This is literally just Lazy Town, though.
Nah, Lazy Town at least teaches good life lessons.
That's true. This is not good, so good point.
And now, the storm is over and his crop has been ravaged.
He gets back to work.
Yes, he knows he can just get back to work. But
and there's like one piece of land.
Yeah, there's one there's like one little crop of corn that's left unharmed.
He's like, I can still do my job, guys.
We got 2 of the 3 statues. I don't know how to get the 3rd one. But we have enough statues to get to the 2nd world.
Oh, look who's back.
Yeah, Balan's back. First time we've seen him in a while. You know, the mascot of the game. Ready to go on a choo-choo train ride?
He's doing a Honkai Star Rail.
Now, what if I told you? The train goes through the sky, but you don't get to ride the train.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you technically get to ride the train, but
rail.
You technically get to ride the train, but like not in any interesting way. It doesn't even take you to a new place. It just makes new places suddenly rise from the ether.
So basically, it's a terraforming train, is what you're telling me here.
Kinda, and it just takes you in a circle and drops you back off where you got on it. Doesn't even take you somewhere new. This is like it's like Tweetsy Railroad or something, where you're going for the experience of riding a train rather than to get somewhere.
So basically, this game is just basically Yuji Naka's fever dream. Got you?
Yes, and we are being followed by little chick creatures, who are called Tim. They're all named Tim. The species is called Tim. I'm not saying that as a joke. That is what they're called. There are those who call them.
I mean, they will always be
Tim?
Twonkies.
Time to feed the Tims. No, you can't name any of them. They're all Tims.
Well, we're nicknaming them Tams. Tim Tams. Half of them are Tims, half of them are Tams.
We gotta feed the Tims so they get nice and fat so we can breed them.
Oh yeah, Nika doesn't know about that.
He doesn't... you can't really explain Balan Wonderworld to someone without sitting them down and showing it to them.
Miles, here's the thing. I've just accepted the fact that this is just Yuji Naka's fever dream and cry for help. That is all I'm going to consider this as.
We hit 30 on the Tim counter. That doesn't mean we have 30 Tims. It means they've done 30 of whatever the fuck. That means we have built the base of the Tower of Tims.
Nika.
Now we needed to hit.
This game is also. So this game is basically also Pikmin. Okay.
Nope, because you don't get to really do anything with the Tims. They just kind of go off on their own.
So again, Pikmin.
Like, you don't even get to utilize them for, like, puzzle solving or anything. The Tower of Tims is a completely superfluous thing that takes thousands upon thousands of rotations to complete. And once you complete it, it does nothing.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Don't worry about it.
No, please go ahead. I feel bad.
The reason why I'm saying it's Pikmin is because Pikmin AI, despite being used for puzzle solving by Olimar, tend to go off on their own like infants and end up getting themselves killed.
Except the Tims cannot die. They can only be trapped, and they follow you into stages. 6 of them, 5 or 6 of them, I think. And if they
so they're somewhat smarter.
And if they get trapped by, like, you know, a trap enemy or something. Oh, we unlocked the first section of the Tower of Tims. It's like building a fucking McDonald's play place, basically, for the Tims.
But yeah, Nico, these things breed in the stupidest way possible.
Well, first of all, we have to get them. We have to get them to want to come over and the gems.
Enlighten me.
The gems you collect throughout the stages are used to feed the Tims. You feed them enough gems. You feed them enough gems until they get big and fat. Then, once one of them is big and fat, you take one that's not big and fat and throw it at the fat one, and they shit out an egg and deflate. It's like someone's deviant fetish.
So it's basically a cursed version of how Pikmin make their extra people, but instead of using pellets to put into an onion, the Tim or whatever does something, gets prego. You throw it again at the pregnant one, and they you know what? No, I'm just got a headache.
We're about to breed one. There we go.
It pooped out an egg.
Yeah.
And then it went back to small size. The miracle of birth, everyone.
It reminds me of that Digimon 2. Hakumon's
oh yeah, it does kind of look like that. In terms of its design, the Tim's design, it does kind of look like that.
Yeah, it looks like the baby form merged with the Entraining too.
So, for the first rotation of the Tower of Tims to get built, we needed 30 rotations. For the second section of the Tower of Tims, we needed 70. What do we need for the third one? 420.
That's a lot.
It's also the funny number.
Can you throw them at the wheel to make them actually work?
No. They just do what they want. So, now that Nico's here, I feel like it's time to get into the story aspect of this game and what I take issue with, okay?
Go for it.
So, you've probably noticed that there's not a lot of dialogue in the cutscenes. In fact, outside the intro cutscene, there has been no dialogue.
Why is there a tiny hat right there?
I don't know. You can't do anything with it. It's just there. It's Balan's hat. Why is it there? There is a story to this game. In fact, there's a lot of lore in this game. There's an entire narrative to this game with deep, like, character motivations for every character and backstories and stuff and dialogue. It's just all within a separate novel that you have to buy on Amazon.
Gosh. Jeez.
We were really so let me assume something. I'm assuming that these guys were hoping that this thing would take over Sonic the Hedgehog.
Basically, Yuji Naka even said, this is my last chance to make a mascot platformer.
Yeah, because because if they're trying to like make all this lore and then like separate sell a book separate to explain all said lore, then they're definitely really trying to replace Sonic.
They didn't say pre-launch that there even was going to be a book. It's just the book came out on the same day as the game, and everyone found out, oh, if you read the book, you get, like, the story of the game. Because if you play the game itself, you have no idea what the fuck is going on, or who any of these people are.
Yeah, again, if the book came out the same day as the game, then they were expecting to sell the book and therefore try to make off on both.
Yes, but the key factor here is they didn't say that there was going to be a book. They didn't advertise that there was a book. They just expected you to know intrinsically, oh, there's a book.
Okay.
And also, there were thoughts apparently about, you know, including the story in the game that they were selling for $60. Yuji Naka said, no, I don't want people to get too bogged down and confused, so instead we'll have dialogue-less cutscenes. And in fact, he didn't even want the cutscenes in the game to begin with. That was a mandate from Square Enix. That was the only time they intervened.
Speaking of books that are based on, that give like a lore of a game, you just remind me of something, Ari, that I need to check out real quick.
What?
My favorite MMORPG has like books between expansion packs and pre-patch and everything. And I just realized Christine Golden, who's the best freaking WoW writer out there. She's done so many good books. Released one for the new patch, and it's on Audible for like $1 right now.
Oh, cool.
The audiobook. So I got it.
So welcome to World 2. This is our obligatory water level. God.
Bird people?
Not bird people, jellyfish people. Jellyfish people and dolphin people.
One? Oh, dolphin people. That's like a bird.
Yeah, it's a dolphin. It's got the tail.
So Neospatian Aqua Dolphin, gotcha.
Yes. It's an old reference, but we'll accept it.
And I guess they have to do something with the water blocks. Or the jellyfish do.
We get the Jelly Jolt costume, and this lets us go through water.
Why does that Jelly Jolt look like frickin' like one of those like stereotypical old grandma like night gowns?
It does. It does. All that the Jelly Jolt does, other than like give you an electric barrier around you when you jump, which is one of your ways of attacking, is it lets you swim through water. You can't control when you swim through water. It's all automated. Because, God forbid, we let the player have fun.
I require them to want to have fun.
Also, giant diver girl who looks exactly like Asahina from Danganronpa.
What the heck? Are you shrunk down or something and she's the normal size? Or
No, she's giant. And if we approach her, she disappears, just like everything else. Except for the enemies, who barely ever show up.
Literally just... So this game is just literally one big fetish dream.
Yes.
It feels like it.
It's got giantess, it's got inflation, it's got breeding.
Yeah, this was definitely Yuji Naka's cry for help.
His cry for help as he was committing insider trading at Square Enix before he got arrested twice and then charged and prosecuted for said insider trading and found guilty.
Yeah.
I've seen people try and defend him on that charge by saying, like, oh, he didn't mean to commit insider trading. He was tricked into it.
Someone definitely tricked him into it.
Like, yeah, I just accidentally committed a high-level financial crime.
I just accidentally hit the button.
It was like, oopsie whoopsie. I accidentally stole and shared secrets about what project Square Enix was working on that hadn't been announced yet and gave them to other people. Oops, sorry, I was tricked into doing that. Please don't be mad at me. I'm just a small bean.
No, it's like, oh, that money just accidentally fell in my pocket, and all that information just happened to fall out of it. Oh, those little bombs shrink. There's a shark.
Oh, I took a hit. That means I lost the Jelly Jolt costume.
You can get another one.
Yeah. It's just I have to find the key to get it first, because the keys are always placed within range of the costumes, which makes me wonder, why not just let us get the costumes without the key? There's even a costume whose whole purpose is to just act as a portable key.
So do the keys just act, like, are they tied to specific costumes, or is it like one size fits all, so to speak?
It's one size fits all. They're just always placed right next to each other. Oh, now we got the bubble blower costume. This one lets us make a bubble that we can use to float. This is one of the costumes where if you're playing in two-player mode, if two of you have this costume, you could just glide across the stage infinitely and break the progression. Because when you play two-player, you two are literally linked hand in hand. You cannot move separately from each other.
That's hilarious.
It's a game that feels designed by committee, but it wasn't. And that's the depressing part.
I forgot to tell you guys something, because I was in and out.
You were not in and out. You're not a hamburger place.
I needed a joke. They found the person that took that, the PSA card.
Good.
But the card's gone.
Are they at least gonna prosecute him?
I think that's the case. I think
he committed a crime. He committed a crime. He deserves to be prosecuted, and you deserve financial compensation for the valuable thing he stole from you and fled the state for.
I mean, it's $300 now. The price went down since it was stolen.
That's still $300 fucking dollars. That may not be that may not be a lot to you, but that's a lot to people like me that, like,
That $300 could have easily went to the Dragon Dagger.
Yeah.
I never mentioned the Dragon Dagger.
Oh, I will mention the Dragon Dagger.
All jokes aside, $300 can change someone's life if they're low income. Like,
yeah.
It may not be a lot for middle class and upper middle class families, but $300 is still a lot.
I mean, it is. I'm mad about it, but I mean, I'm still waiting to hear back. My buddy lives in Florida, and they've been like kind of go-to person between here and there. So
I mean, like, $300 is.
I wasn't expecting you to be able to get the card back because American police are woefully incompetent at their jobs. But like, if all else fails, sue.
Well, what I'm doing right now, I put out a post in 3 or 4 different places that sell PSA cards with the original cert number, and just said if you see this or someone sells it to you, let me know.
I was going to say $300 could eat.
No, you finish.
Never mind. No, go ahead.
No, you.
I was gonna say $300 could easily give somebody groceries, or at least for a good while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just mad because I was gonna give it to you, Nico. I was so mad when it went missing.
What the Gardevoir card?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens. I'm still waiting.
I mean, it's all right. I mean, whatever happens, happens. I mean, not much you can do about it. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the guy who stole it. But again, he's gonna have to live with what he did, and he's gonna have to answer for his problems, be it with karma or with the law.
Yep. Good news. My Charizards are in the grading right now.
Yeah.
So
also, I apologize if I just sound a little irritated. It's just a lot of things with my family planning for Friday is getting to me, and it's just making me a little stressed out.
I get you.
That's understandable, Nico.
That's very understandable.
So if I sound a little snippy, it is not towards any of you. You did nothing wrong.
Okay.
Appreciate the clarification, Nico. You are a wonderful individual.
I appreciate it, Miles.
Also, just to catch Nico up on what's going on in the game, we entered a mini game where we get to play as Balan through one of the QuickTime events. You have to line up. There are two kinds of QuickTime events. There's the ones where you have to wait for him to strike the right pose at the right camera angle and match it up with the silhouette. And there's the ones where you just have to button mash.
I mean,
there are four levels of grading for each QuickTime event input. If you don't get perfects on all of them, it doesn't count. You might as well have failed all of them. Also, I just realized something. Miles, you do know if this game did succeed, they probably would have pushed for a crossover with 14. Yeah. No. Now Square Enix just pretends it never happened. Honestly, I'm happy that didn't make it into a crossover with 14. I would have been like, nope, I ain't doing this event. Fuck that. Sorry, Bio.
I'm trying to remember. There was some sort of collab going out recently of something. That surprised me. There's like speaking of collabs or crossovers or even references in other Square Enix projects. You want to know the most high-profile advertising that this game got aside from its initial reveal trailer? Closer to when it launched. Okay. There was one of those like packaging inserts in physical copies of the remaster of the original Nier. Not Nier Automata, Nier Replicant. That's what it was. There was an insert in Nier Replicant that said, like, Balan Wonderworld out now. Oh, God. No. Also, Miles, they put hints to what the Beastmaster class is going to do, and I think you are going to like it as a fan of Pokemon like I am. What is it? So, well, it's a hybrid of Pokemon and Digimon in a way. Basically, it's you either actively go out and fight the monsters with a chance to tame them and actually have them to your team, and then they fight alongside you and they level up on their own like you do in Pokemon or Digimon. Oh wow. Oh, we got a new custom party off of monsters. That's what that's what has been going around with Yoshi P, and with them doing a Switch 2. Part of me is thinking with the Beastmaster class, if they if Yoshi P somehow works with the Pokemon Company, we might have actually
Pokemon in Final Fantasy 14.
That'd be cool
As a possibility.
That would be cool to at least have discussion and be able to discuss with the Pokemon Company about, because Nintendo doesn't wholly control that IP. Hi, Lulu.
Yeah, because... Hi, Lulu. But here's the thing, though. Like, that means if I'm able to have a Gardevoir follow my Raw around, I would be very fucking happy. I would be like, yep, okay, so, she stays out. She will go kill my enemies, and then I will give her head pats.
Do we know when this is coming out?
Beastmaster?
Yeah.
Either, middle of this year, or it'll be released with the drop of the new expansion, which will be 8.0.
They're saying 7.5 is what people are hinting at, so...
Yeah, that's the middle of the year to, like...
Okay.
Probably before the fan festival when they announce the new expansion.
Lulu says, Lulu says, what's this game? It's Balan Wonderworld. It's trash.
Basically, it's Yuji Naka's way. It's Yuji Naka's discount Sonic the Hedgehog at Square Enix, and his cry for help with a fever dream.
It was marketed as a Nights into Dreams spiritual successor, but it plays nothing like Nights into Dreams.
I was gonna say, Nights into Dreams had more class. Do not like taint the name that is Nights.
You actually got to play as Knights in Nights.
I know.
Yeah.
Also, this new costume we got, the dolphin one, all it does, like, you know how the jellyfish one lets you swim?
Yeah, you have bubble.
The dolphin one lets you swim, but faster.
That's a waste of costume.
So that outfit is just basically Echo the Dolphin.
And you can't control your swimming. You just enter water blocks and you automatically swim to the end of them with no way to change your speed or anything. So, two costumes that have the exact same function, except one's just a better version of it, and they're in the same fucking level.
So basically, one of them is just Echo the Dolphin.
Yes.
I call it Neospatian Aqua Dolphin.
Does kind of look like
that too.
It does kind of have that Neospatian Aqua Dolphin look to it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they placed the spawn point for the dolphin costume on an isolated platform above a pit that the dolphin costume cannot jump across because its jump isn't long enough. So you have to have the bubble blower. You have to have the bubble blower costume to get over to it. Then you need to immediately switch back to the bubble blower costume to get back.
BRB, I have my headset on still, so I'll hear you, but I'm not gonna be talking for a few.
Okay. Like, I want to play this because it's fascinating to just disassemble it block by block to figure out what doesn't work about this game and how could they have made it better.
So basically, we're doing
an autopsy.
So we're doing an autopsy on Yuji Naka's mental sanity and decline.
Yep. It's an autopsy and a psychological profile at the same time. I'm afraid of what I'm discovering.
Okay. Also, the loss of the costume when you get hit is similar to that of Super Mario Brothers.
Yes, except the power-ups in Super Mario Brothers are, like, you know, in the 2D games at least, because power-ups don't often show up in 3D ones outside of Galaxy and the 3D Land and World games. Power-ups in there are more so an extension to your existing abilities that, like, let you do things easier. They don't give you the ability you need to actually get anywhere in the level.
It's just a shittier version of Mario power-ups.
Yes, except there's 80 of them.
Question.
Yes.
How does one actually die in this game? Do you not have costumes and get hit or something and you die?
Yes.
Or like...
If you have no costumes and get hit, you die.
So this game, so it's also basically Mario.
Yes, but you can carry up to 3 costumes at a time.
Oh my god.
Which means you basically at all times are going to have at least 3 hit points.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This game is ripping off a lot of things and failing miserably at it.
Yep. Yep.
I think you might be right.
There is a costume in this game that just looks like movie, like pre-redesigned movie Sonic the Hedgehog.
So ugly Sonic.
Yeah, there is a costume in this game that just looks like ugly Sonic. It's supposed to be like, a tongue-in-cheek, hey, we're the guys who made the original Sonic game. Here's a little shout out to Sonic, but it just looks hideous.
We put a costume in the game that is based on Sonic the Bush Pig.
I also mentioned towards the top of the stream about, like, not only is 80 costumes excessive, given that each one of them by design needs to have its own unique function, when a lot of them overlap or just could have been done by the same costume. Like, like in the first world, you get a costume that lets you jump, and then you get a costume that lets you ground pound. Why couldn't you just have one costume that jumps and ground pounds?
Or I have a better idea. Why not just give you the ground pound ability at the start as a basic function?
Have a good night, JKR. But yeah, a lot of
have a good night, JKR.
That's like the core problem that everyone has with this game is like, why do a lot of these need to be separate costumes instead of just core mechanics of the game? But like, there are 2 playable characters. You can choose to play as the boy or the girl, Leo or Emma. The only difference between them is their opening and ending cutscenes for the entire game. And there are 4 variants of the 2-player characters that you can play as that have varying skin tones and hair colors and eye colors. That means they had to render, like, you take 80 costumes, right? They had to render them with the faces sticking out of both the male and female character. So you take a character that needs to have base 81 models, right? Because you need to have them uncostumed. Double that for male and female variants, right?
So 162.
Now octuple that due to the fact that
I'm not doing math.
Due to the fact that there are 4 palette variations of the human skin tones and hair colors and eye colors.
152 times what?
8.
Times 8.
1,296.
Yeah, that's how many variants of these fucking models they needed to make.
Yeah, I'm just, what the fuck.
I'm gonna go. I'm coughing a lot. I'm gonna go rest, but...
Have a good night, Miles. But yeah, Balan Wonderworld is fascinating to dissect. Especially when you have people with you to point and laugh at the freak.
I'm gonna tell you this right now, and this is my opinion on this. Balan Wonderworld is just as bad as Bubsy 3D, but not in the sense that it's a bad platformer, but the fact that there is so much bullshit and nonsense that it might as well just be Bubsy 3D.
Bubsy 3D at least had the excuse of there were no 3D platformers prior to it when it started development, so it was uncharted territory.
Yeah, it had an excuse, but I'm saying
this game came out in 2021 from people that were veterans of platformers.
Yeah, which is why I was saying that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to correct you. I'm adding on to what you said.
I know. I'm just saying, like, Bubsy 3D had an excuse. Yeah, I mean, Bubsy 3D is still a piece of shit.
Yeah,
it's still an excuse. But this game, it's not like bad as in the sense Bubsy 3D had it, but in the sense that there's too much in the game that could have been just easily simplified.
Yeah, it's a case of like, typically when you're designing a game like this and you're trying to come up with like, okay, these are going to be all the features of our game, you typically design way too much at first, right? And then you have to cut and you have to scale back to make it something feasible, something coherent. They did not do that for this game.
One game that did that very well, and I know it came out later than this, was Super Mario Wonder. It had aside from the power-ups and all that, they managed to fix a lot of the problems that the new Super Mario Brothers had with the multiplayer, and it actually worked. I feel like with this game, they didn't take enough time to actually like program or fix a lot of the stuff.
Yeah. It's not like this is a particularly glitchy game. I am noticing on PC at least the frame pacing, I should say, is pretty bad. It looks very jittery for a game that's running at a locked 60 frames per second.
I think it's just trying to be a modern day Sega Genesis game.
It is, and that's one of its core problems with how it's with its approach to design, is that Yuji Naka seems to be a proponent of like controls should be as simplistic as possible, but he doesn't realize that like gaming had like to the point where he thought that a one-button control scheme would work in this because it worked in the 2D Sonic games, but like he doesn't realize gaming has evolved past that.
Well, here's the thing. I get the fact about simplistic controls because, again, there's a lot of games that still have simplistic controls, but I think the problem with that, with what's going on is, like, if you make a game that has way too many controls, it gets the player very confused and just disinterested, but if it's way too simple, it could do the same effect. It's just... There's
this is the stage where we get the Sonic costume.
Oh god. But no, like there has to be like a good balance on control. With a video game, it's not about having it look pretty, and it's not about just having perfect control. There's a balance that needs to be had because, like, if it doesn't have good control, but the game looks great, you basically just bought glorified eye candy. But if you also get a game that has poor controls and looks nice,
good controls but looks poor.
Looks poor, thank you. Then you basically bought a game that is very functional, but it'll give you a headache.
Yeah.
It's more along the lines of like with Sonic and like for example, like with Sonic, Mario, there's a reason why we go back to playing those games. Even Pokemon, for example. The game, it's not only just a nostalgic factor, the games are simple to a point where we can understand it, and it just feels a lot more fulfilling to play. Whereas with this game, it's like, holy hell, okay, there's like 81 different costumes, there is not much to understanding the story, and we have a lot of jittering problems that shouldn't really be happening. We're not basically in the pioneer days of gaming. We are like right now in an era that we're beyond the pioneer.
Yeah. Like, we've had this stuff figured out for a long time now.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I get it. It's nice to have a game like this, if done correctly. But then there's also, like, doing a game like this and getting this results.
Yeah, like, Balan Wonderworld is an interesting case where, like, the audio-visual element to it is superb. The music, as you can probably hear, is really nice.
Yeah.
And I know you can't see, but, like, the visuals are beautiful for the art style they're going for.
Well, with Square Enix and I will say this, with Yuji Naka and Sega, a lot of their art is very, very good. Like, yeah. I'm not going to knock them. They have very good art and good music direction. But sometimes when it comes to content in the game, sometimes story and sometimes controls, that's what hits or miss. That's what hits or misses.
Yeah, I agree. Like, what I'm trying to say is, like, these are some superb character and environment designs and some really beautiful environments and, like, really, you know, not just beautiful, not beautiful in a photorealistic way, but, like, this looks like something you would see in, like, a Pixar movie. A really trippy Pixar movie, but still a Pixar movie. Like,
or,
if
Chibi
only...
Robo.
Yeah, or Chibi Robo. If only it was used on something that was more coherently put together.
Yeah.
Because that's, like, the biggest problem I have with Balan Wonderworld's design, is that's incoherent. It's just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Pretty much.
Like right now, suddenly, baseball minigame. And by baseball minigame, I mean hit the targets with the baseball. Oh, and if you want to exit out of the minigame, the only way you can is by going back to the fucking title screen.
Okay.
Which means restarting the whole game. Or level.
So basically, they're forcing you to play through the game, unless you want to restart.
Yeah. They're short minigames, thankfully, but, like, they don't count towards completion, I think? Because you don't get the balance statues, which are like your stars or jiggies for this game for completing them. You just get extra gems for feeding to the Tims. Like, they're there just so, because, like, you get unique costumes just for those minigames that you can't use anywhere else, and they disappear once the minigame's over, but, like, it's just there so they can say, oh, this is a mechanic. That's a thing we can put on the back of the box. It's padding.
This was 2020 and 2021. I also realized that if this game was successful, Yuji, why would I have a feeling Yuji Naka would have tried to push this character into Brawl?
Oh God.
No, or
Ultimate.
Or Ultimate rather, yeah.
Yeah. There's our giantess stuff again. Like, real pretty God. Character design. Shame it's visually almost identical to a character from Danganronpa, a game that predates this by 10 years.
Let me guess, does this girl that it's referencing have pink swirly pigtails?
No. It's the ultimate swimmer from the first game, Aoi Asahina. And this girl is a diver. And she has the exact same hairstyle and skin tone and eye color. And instead of wearing, like, you know, a hoodie and shorts, she's wearing, you know, a wetsuit. But she looks exactly like Asahina. I've even, like, longtime viewers of the channel might know Jana, who voiced Asahina and directed most of the Danganronpa fandom I was in back in the day that I've shown on stream a few times. I showed that to her, and she was like, that does look exactly like her. It's uncanny. And given that we talked about how there was some potential plagiarism involved on the music end, it makes me wonder, like, was there some plagiarism on the art end, too?
Maybe. I mean,
I'd hate to think that for Naoto Oshima, because he's a really talented character designer.
Yeah, I mean, one, it could be a coincidence, but at the same time, if it is, it might have been an accidental mistake that was overlooked. But even then, that's
I could see it. I could see it being a case of like simultaneous inspiration, or like you know, like two people think of the same thing unconnected from each other and without knowledge of each other. Like in gaming terms, one of the most famous cases of that was how Robo's theme from Chrono Trigger sounds uncannily like Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley.
Yeah.
But the composer for Chrono Trigger was like, I've never heard of Rick Astley, and Never Gonna Give You Up never charted in Japan, so I wouldn't have heard it on the radio. I just came up with this, like, central tune, and it happened to sound like a pop song from America.
Yeah, I mean that's usually a common thing.
Yeah, or another famous example is you know, in animation terms, there's a Looney Tunes short and a Tom and Jerry short that came out within like a month of each other that had the exact same premise and several similar gags. But due to how long animation took to produce back then, and still does to this day, there's no way that one could have plagiarized the other, because the timelines don't match up for where there would have been time to rip each other off.
Well, yeah, that and it depends on the animation style and way you animate it.
Yeah, this
there
was
multiple different styles to do it.
Yeah, this was and this was like 1930s, 1940s MGM and Looney Tunes. So this was when they were still doing that very fluid Disney-ish animation.
So basically, like ink and paint cell.
Yeah, but like talking about the way the characters move, where everything was like going for a more realistic look as opposed to more either stilted or exaggerated in the respective way that each one ended up going.
Yeah.
But like basically, like if it was plagiarized, then it must have been like so early on that they ended up evolving down two different paths.
Yeah.
And there was even like potential threats of legal action towards each other on both ends about like, you rip me off, no, you rip me off, and then they ended up just never going to court because no one could prove one way or the other that they ripped each other off. Like, what was ultimately determined was, like, when you're doing a cartoon about, like, a character trying to perform a piano concerto, and they even had the same piece of classical music, and, like, you have a small mouse character that's annoying them living inside the piano.
Yep, I know what short you're talking about.
Yeah. Like, both of them had that same central concept, so of course they're gonna lead to similar gags.
Yeah.
And the reason that both of them used that same composition is because it was in the public domain. It wasn't owned by either company's record label. And it was a well-known piece of classical music, so of course that would be befitting of a piece themed around a classical piano concerto. So, like, it's a lot of stuff that, like, the more you think about, the more it makes sense that they ended up so similar instead of it just being plagiarism.
Yeah.
Like, I want to hope that's the case with this character design. That's a long-winded, diatribe-y way of saying I hope that's the case with this character design of them both looking at, like, probably Japanese, like, swimmers and divers who are, you know, young, pretty ladies, and coming up with a similar character design.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I don't think they're trying. They were trying to go one for one. That's the thing.
Because one's like a deep sea diver. The other's just like a professional swimmer, like high school swim team swimmer.
Yeah. Yeah, and even if that was the case, maybe they were just trying to reference, but that's a long stretch.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think anyone's asked Naoto Oshima about that, and I feel like it would be very awkward to be like, "Hey, did you rip off this other popular Japanese franchise on this project that you no longer want to be associated with?" Like, I feel like that would be a question that ends an interview right there with him walking out.
Question: Yuji Naka was the developer or the art director? Which one?
Yuji Naka was the director. Naoto Oshima was the character designer. And Naoto Oshima is the one. Naoto Oshima is the one I'm questioning. Like, the character design.
I would assume. Then I would assume it would be Yuji Naka's fault then, because again, if he's the one who's directing the game. He's director on all fronts: music, the music, the art design, gameplay.
Yeah, and Yuji Naka is a convicted felon.
I was gonna say because he's the one. Technically, with the director, they're the ones who have the final say on whatever project they are doing. Aside from the company that's like, "Hey, go for trying to make this game." Because then it would be his fault if the character got plagiarized then.
Yeah.
Because he's the one who told the artist, hey, it's okay to do this character, put her in.
Yeah. Not trying to absolve Yuji Naka of any blame here. If anything, he deserves most of it because he was the director.
I know. Oh, no, I know. I'm just trying to lay my point down that... I was just trying to make sure because the director is the one at the end of the day.
Yeah, you were trying to keep track of who filled what role.
Yeah.
I get
because then because if that's the case, then yeah, this is all Yuji Naka's fault. Then if he ripped off the character, like it's not the artist's fault. The artist is just going off of the guy's guidance. Like,
yeah.
Again, if you don't tell what the artist to do and what to draw, they're not going to know like what to even put on the paper, let alone the game.
I'm also more willing to go harsh on Yuji Naka for this. Because, like, his whole career, he's been someone that's like, oh, I'm the creator of Sonic. I'm the guy responsible for the classic Sonic games and Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 and Sonic Heroes when, like, no, you were the lead programmer on Sonic 1 through 3. But you were not the director of those games, and you were not the producer, and you were not the project lead. And you were the producer for Sonic Adventure 1, 2, Heroes, that whole era. But the director who actually, you know, led the development of those was, God, I forgot his name. But the current head of Sonic Team. Fuck, I wish I could remember his name now. But, like, you were very hands-off, more so like a guy people approached for ideas. Or guidance on how to go with development. But like, hey, if you've built your whole career off of taking credit for the hard work of entire teams, then you have to bear the whole responsibility for a project you plastered your face all over.
Yeah.
That's just how that's why I'm like that with KG Inafune with Mighty No. 9 as well. Because, you know, that was video games are a team effort. 9 times out of 10, it's not a sole developer doing everything.
Yeah, it's not like what it was with the days of Atari and some 8-bit NES games. It isn't like a one or two man project. It's more along the lines of nowadays you need a whole entire team to get something made.
Yeah.
And understanding the design and the programming aspect of making a good game.
Yeah, I'm just more so like, if you're going to make yourself the central figurehead of why people should buy this game based off of projects you've been attached to in the past, whether you were project lead on them or not, then guess what? You're going to be the face of all the blame when if your project fails. Like, it's like, if we were in the worst timeline than we're already in, where Bloodstain Ritual of the Night had turned out to be a colossal failure, then Koji Igarashi would have been the one that everyone blamed for it, and rightfully so, because he made himself the central figurehead. But he's also more humble. He doesn't, he did say outright, I'm the only one who can make this project a reality. But also, that was because he knew how to put together a team who could make it a reality. Not because, I made all these myself. I don't give credit to other people. He's the kind of person who will give credit where it's due. And that's why I respect him so much.
Well, yeah, I respect him as well.
Yuji Naka, on the other hand, is sort of like a Butch Hartman, where he's like, I created your childhood.
You may have had a hand in creating my childhood, but you did not create my childhood per se. You had a hand in it.
Yeah. Never mind that all these projects are a collaborative effort, and that often the one credited with being the initial concept creator doesn't actually have a big hand in often doesn't have as big of a hand in, the day-to-day activities of making the thing a reality as you would think, especially when it comes to animation. The creators of the shows often aren't the writers or directors.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just going to take credit for all the work that teams of talented artists and designers and composers made that you just slapped your name on. Butch Hartman infamously does that, and Yuji Naka has a history of doing that. But when Balan Wonderworld failed, he was like, oh, I was sabotaged by Square Enix, and everyone, just the straight up the Tommy Wiseau, everyone betray me, I fed up with this world.
Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you're going to say you created the game and you're the one responsible for it, you're taking responsibility if it becomes a dumpster fire.
Yeah, if you're going to be the one that's like, oh, this is my game, I made this, then guess what? You're going to be the one held responsible for its success or failure.
Yeah.
And that goes for any media project, not just video games.
Well, yeah, but I'm actually also surprised that Yuji Naka did not get went after for saying hey, I did all this, and people who worked on it didn't go after him.
It's because in Japan they value seniority and how long you've been working in an industry or at a company over actual merit.
Yeah.
So it was basically what amounted to was basically after Balan Wonderworld crashed and burned and he got wrapped up in legal trouble for insider trading unrelated to Balan Wonderworld, but funnily timed right after Balan Wonderworld, people started speaking up about their experiences working with him.
Yeah, and unfortunately nowadays in the United States with most of the jobs and stuff, they're also focusing a lot more on seniority as well now. They're starting to follow that example instead of other things. So
yeah, a perfect example I can give of how Japan's value of seniority in their corporate culture over merit is Keiji Inafune, so-called father of Mega Man, even though he didn't create Mega Man, but he did shepherd the series after its creator left Capcom, after I think Mega Man 2. But he took, as the series went on, he gradually took less and less of an active involvement in the development of the games and became more of a brand organizer.
Yeah.
He got promoted upwards throughout Capcom to like one of the vice executive positions of like marketing or branding or something at Capcom in 2010, the same year that he ended up quitting. Which is also the same year he announced Mega Man Legends 3 right after he got promoted, and used his seniority to get that project even pre-greenlit. Like, it was never greenlit, but he got it far enough in development that they could announce it. Even though Capcom had no faith in it, but, like, he's been here since the 80s, so we gotta listen to him. And then he ends up leaving and leaves them with a project that no one had any faith in, so they obviously didn't follow through with it, because he was no longer there to pull his weight around. The whole reason it took us from 2010 to 2017 to get an announcement of any new Mega Man game that wasn't just mobile slop was because people in the company were like, the guy who's been the face of the brand since the 80s is gone, and there's no captain steering this ship. And everyone's too afraid to be the one to speak up and be like, hey, I have an idea. Do you mind if I take over? Because that's a ballsy thing to say in Japan.
Yeah.
It's also why there hasn't been any new Dragon Ball anime or manga. Because since Toriyama died, you know, rest in peace, absolute legend.
Yeah.
There's not only questions of who owns the IP of Dragon Ball that are being settled at the moment, but it's also like, who is going to be the one to carry on in his footsteps, and will they be accepted by not just the fandom, but like by the broader Japanese public as the new head of this legendary multimedia franchise that's been going on for 40 plus years?
I would also assume probably the same for Yu-Gi-Oh's creator, because he also passed away.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's like
it's big shoes to fill. It's something that you have to be. We're getting a raid from Lolita. Oh, thank you.
Lolita raided my stream with 6
Thank
viewers.
you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. I'm Arikado, gender fluid vamp elf, VTuber, and connoisseur of trash, as you probably figured from the fact that I'm playing Balan Wonderworld.
God.
I'm playing this because I play trash games every now and then, because I have studied game design as a potential profession for a few years before that ended up imploding. And I like looking at bad games and seeing like, okay, here's why it doesn't work, as opposed to, haha, roll up, everyone laugh at the freak.
Yeah.
Although sometimes there are things that are just funny to point and laugh at. This whole I'm playing Balan Wonderworld, not just to torment my friend Nico here.
Hello.
But also, so we can have some interesting discussions about like, okay, here's why this doesn't work. Here's why this was a fundamentally bad idea. How could it have worked in a different way?
Yeah, and as Ari said, I am Nico. Don't mind the Padaru Gardevoir. That's staying around for till spring, as I promised, for Ari's Twitch group. And I am a paladin / vampire hunter and a good friend of my friend here.
Yes, one of my best friends for a long time. It will be, well, we've been friends for over 10 years, so it'll be almost 15 years as of this year.
Yeah, pretty much. So a decade and a half.
Yeah. Thanks for the head pat, Lolita. How'd your stream go? What were you streaming? I put in the shout out command, but this game locks your cursor to the window, and alt tabbing makes things go a little fucky wucky, and my mods are currently asleep. So please share with us how your stream went, what you decided to stream, all that good stuff. Hope you had a good one.
Yeah. Yep. Also, if you're wondering why my friend here is explaining what they are playing, I am technically blind. I've been blind for, dang, this year would be what would mark 4 years now, 4 or 5 years. Since I'm unable to view the games, they are guiding me through some games that I potentially missed or would go through again.
Yeah, and I will say, as, you know, an example of him being an absolute Giga Chad, him not being able to see much at all does not stop him from being a god at Sonic the Fighters and Skullgirls.
I'm not much of a god, but
given your inherent handicap, you still kick ass.
Well, I appreciate it.
That is something to brag about, but you're not the braggadocious type, and that makes you even cooler.
Well, I appreciate it. And then I'm also, and as for the Pateru Gardevoir, I am a legit Gardevoir fan.
The world's most wholesome Gardevoir fan, and I love that.
I am very protective of Gardevoir, like, so much so that, like, just last year, Ari helped me look to getting a life-size Gardevoir plush, and we saved it from being looted.
Yes, he bought an unopened one specifically so it would not fall into the hands of someone that would do devious things with it.
Yep, and we held a poll to name her, and we dubbed her the name Rosemary. So occasionally I put pictures of her in Ari's Discord for everyone to see, just to brighten people's days.
You said you were playing Divinity Original Sin, doing a first-time playthrough. I've heard the name of the Divinity series before. I'm just not all too familiar with it. That's the one that Larian works on, right? The studio that made Baldur's Gate 3?
Yeah. I want to say so.
I know they're working on they're working on a new Divinity game.
Yeah, a third Divinity. What class were you playing? Curiously. Yeah, and aside from the games that Ari plays on the channel, we recently started doing a bit of D&D,
Castlevania themed D&D.
Yeah, and we're just a bunch of goofballs having fun with it. So it's just like, it's a real fun time. You can check out the VODs on Ari's YouTube channel.
That's right. If you type !YouTube or ! Discord, you can find my YouTube and Discord links. I have 2 YouTube channels, one for VODs and one for video essays and reviews. And Lolita was playing a Ranger Witch duo.
Ooh, that's actually really good.
So we're in our next...
Last time...
Sorry to interrupt. I was just going to say we're in our next boss fight, and the story bit we got for this was that the diver girl that we've been seeing throughout this game was swimming with the dolphins when one dolphin knocked her air tank loose, and she almost drowned.
Oh boy.
Oh, hold on. Knock my mic down. Cable got caught in my toes. I had to, Lolita says, I had to choose a witch because I'm a witch VTuber, and I love the Ranger class. That's why I played through Baldur's Gate 3 as. So I'm guessing that made for a deadly combination.
Oh, God, yeah. Because here's the thing. With spellcasters and Rangers in general, if you rely on Dex for, like, lobbing certain spells, and then intelligence or whatever, I think it's intelligence that witches use for their damage, they become pretty nasty. For me, I usually do fighter cleric or paladin cleric builds because, again, I love how fighter and paladin armor looks, and I like the fact that I could be a close range fighter, but I can also support and help my allies on the battlefield.
I've never thought about dual classing before because I feel like I would get too stressed out about like micromanaging it. But massive respect to people who can.
If you want, I can tell you one thing I learned from one of the videos Matt Mercer put out about that.
Okay.
The easiest way to look at it is basically, like, say your character is a swashbuckler, right? But let's say your character found some inspiration to not only be charismatic and dexterous, but let's say you wanted to somehow become a like better as a fighter, or like you want to learn how to be a healer. You could basically say, hey, when I level up, I want to take a level into cleric. And Varen wanted to learn healing because seeing her crewmates fall in battle, she wanted to also protect.
I'm going to quickly interrupt to address something in chat. Just saying, have a good night, Lolija, and thank you for the raid. Hope to see you again soon.
Thank you.
And hello, Lulu. But yes, please continue.
Sorry. Anyway, because it'd be like, because example being like, say Varen was going to multi-class, and let's say she somehow found an inspiration to want to help like heal others around her while she fights, or you want to learn how to be good at like being a ranger like Riku. You could say like, hey, I took a level in ranger and or cleric, and now I'm not good at it, but at least I've learned how to help others alongside me while I do my fighting.
Okay.
So in a way, you can make it like a story narrative.
Okay. But yes, hello, Lulu. We're probably gonna wrap up stream soon, just because I'm on a good roll of getting to bed at an early time, and by that I mean I have done it for one night in a row.
Oh God.
And also because everyone just seems tired today.
Fucking motherfucker!
God damn it.
I would lay half sorry for what I did to Saddle Lord. Sorry.
It's okay. It's just during the pre-stream, don't rattle those off, because I like to keep us quiet during the pre-stream. I don't know if that plays through on the stream or not. I can't confirm because, you know, I can't hear the stream side. But like during stream, as long as it's not, you know, interrupting conversations, I'm fine with it.
Rattle?
Sorry, what?
What do you mean brattle?
Rattle?
Rattle? What do you mean? Rattle these nuts, bitch!
Lulu, did you choose violence tonight?
When does she not?
Okay, fair.
Also, just to... Yes, you did. Also, to get Lulu caught up to speed, we are doing D&D on Friday. Up in the air... Yep. Well, we're not doing it Saturday, because JKR and Furret are not going to be around. So yeah, that's our D&D schedule for the week.
I pretty much saw it on the schedule, but thank you for letting me know anyway.
Okay, just making sure you got caught up.
We will definitely be able to do it because things do not conflict, so it'll definitely work.
Okay.
Smokey runs. Alright, I got Ari 3 times, bitches! Bye!
2 times.
I worry about her. I worry about her sometimes.
To be fair, you worry about all of us.
Yeah, I do.
It's almost like you're the only adult in this room of overgrown children.
Feels like I'm the single father of 5 kids. Technically 6 kids if we're counting Miles. 7 if we're counting Kitty.
Right now, I'm just feeding my Tims so I can get them to breed.
Oh, God.
And I can't stop feeding them because the jump button is also the feed button, because again, everything is one fucking button.
Oh my god. That Sonic 1 mentality where only one button is jump. Or scratch that, all buttons are jump, except for the D-pad.
Yep. The only buttons that aren't jump in this game, other than, you know, the analog stick or D-pad, because the D-pad does nothing, is L1 and R1, which is for switching costumes. But L2 and R2 are still the one button.
Also, that squeal that they do, that or whatever. Yeah. That reminds me of Seaman.
You know, there's so many Sega properties that we're finding connections to in this one game that they did not intend.
Yeah, because and I know the exact sound effect that
the sound where
Seaman.
The sound where it's spitting out the babies, yeah. Seaman is such a revolting game.
Which in this game, basically, they're giving birth in the exact same way with that sound. God forbid.
Except they don't be like, hey, look what we're doing. And you see them like latching their head tentacles together to fuck.
Oh god.
With their gormless, like disturbingly human faces.
That's a game that Furge should stream.
It's actually, if I can get a proper emulator set up for him for it, because it is a bitch to get running in emulation. Okay, we unlocked a second Tim trampoline. That's not a trampoline, that's a button. Now we need to get up to 770 to unlock the second section of the Tower of Tims. Like I said, it goes up into the thousands to unlock the full Tower of Tims, which does nothing except build a big McDonald's play place for them. And you want to know an aspect of this that I forgot about that makes it even better, and by better I mean even more stupid?
What?
The bigger the tower gets, the longer it takes for them to go through it.
I swear to God, if they somehow reference Toe Jam and Earl in this game as well, I am done. But even that's a stretch.
Yeah. Besides, Toe Jam and Earl already got Kickstarter follow-up.
Yeah. It did alright.
Yeah, they apparently it was better than Toe Jam and Earl 3.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Toe Jam and Earl. No one really talks about Toe Jam and Earl.
It's just basically like, hey, do you want to play a game where you're simulating being high off your ass? There you go. There's Toe Jam and Earl.
Like, the most I know about Toe Jam and Earl is that it's very heavily centered around, like, funk and R&B music. And that part of the reason that people didn't jive with the aesthetic of Toe Jam and Earl 3 is that they ditched that in favor of hip-hop.
Yeah. Plus the fact that finding a bunch of pieces to a ship to fly back to planet Funkatron, and then it becomes a dang side-scroller instead of a treasure hunt / top down. I don't even know how to explain the first game.
Isometric?
Yeah. Thank you.
Because I've seen screenshots and, like, clips of it. It's just I've never really played it or, like, looked into what it's all about.
I've tried it. I've played it, and my God.
I have the most recent game. The Epic Game Store gave it away for free one year during one of their, like, free game giveaways. So So I've got a copy of it. I just haven't played it because I feel like I should play the other games first to properly appreciate what it's going for. I don't want it to be a situation of like, you know, I played Yooka-Laylee before I played Banjo-Kazooie. And then, therefore, I didn't get what it was going for.
Yeah, I mean, I played Banjo-Kazooie first because, again, I had an N64 growing up. And then I played Yooka-Laylee when it came out. I didn't mind Yooka-Laylee. It was an alright game, but it just didn't feel... Like, for me, it didn't have the same spark as Banjo-Kazooie.
And now they've come out with a remake of it where they're trying to make it the game that the fans expected it to be, instead of like the mishmash of new ideas they tried that didn't quite work. It's called Yooka-Replaylee.
Oh God.
And it's actually gotten pretty good reviews.
Well, that's good.
Like, it's seen as a very good improvement. It's even running on a better engine than what the original Yooka-Laylee was running on, which it was just running on like an older version of the Unity engine. Which, you know, Unity can do some good stuff. I've worked in Unity before. It's just
yeah,
it's not as, you have to work extra hard to get stuff to look really pretty in there. Whereas working in something like Unreal has all these big baked in lighting and shader functions that inherently make games look prettier.
Yeah, Unity, the only game I've played Unity with, is, Castlevania HD for PC.
Yeah, Unity's really versatile.
Yeah, because with that game, originally it was only 6 players. They made it 10 players, added a bunch of characters and new chapters and new equipment. As well as, depending on the file you have, you could add your own music. So you can add whatever music you want to your version of the game.
Okay. Like, that got me thinking, you know, related to games made in Unity that are actually impressive. You know Sonic Project 06, the fan-made remake of Sonic 06 that's trying to, like, fix everything that was bad about it? That's made in Unity. That's made in Unity.
Yeah. As far as I can tell, they got some stuff up and running, but they've got working on the story.
They've got, like, all the main character levels up and running, but they still need to do the final act, they need to do the boss fights, and they've gone back and forth on whether or not they're gonna do the hub world.
Okay, because in my opinion, it would just be easier just to do like they did in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle and just go from stage to stage.
Yeah, I feel like that would be easier too. It would also make for a better gameplay experience, but at least keep the cutscenes in between levels.
Yeah, and then like any extra stuff or whatever, just
like cutscenes that take place that would have taken place in the hub worlds, just throw them in when they would have occurred in between level segments.
Yeah.
You know, basically, like you said, take the Sonic Adventure 2 approach to it. No need to overcomplicate things. A lot of times, simpler can be better. And having played a bit of Sonic Project 06, they've actually expanded on a lot of its gameplay ideas, where it's gone from, like, oh, let's just fix, you know, the design and bug problems in Sonic 06, and changed it into, like, this is our own new interpretation of Sonic 06. Like, the characters play radically differently, and, like, the scoring system is different.
Yeah, it's to the point where the community is like, if you're gonna play 06, that is the definitive way to play 06.
I wouldn't say the definitive way. I'm very,
I'm just saying, like, what they're saying.
Yeah, what they're saying, I get. But, like, I would argue that, like, the definitive way would be the one that most closely matches what the designers wanted it to be. While also being the most accessible and most fun way to play. And they've taken so many creative liberties with it that I feel like I can't call it definitive because it's gone beyond the scope of what Sonic Team was trying to do with it.
Yeah, fair.
At least on a gameplay front. We've also got a couple new costumes in the stage. This world is themed around bugs.
Oh, fun.
We just lost our new costume that we got, the spider costume, which all it does is it sticks to webs. Clings to webs at any size. Catches thieves. Not at all. Look out. Here comes mediocrity.
I was gonna say, in before the boss in this world is a giant spider or a giant tarantula.
If I remember correctly, she is.
I was joking.
But yeah, our other costume that we got, which I just lost, was yeah, what it's called, but it's basically it just has a tiny little bulb. It's like a sort of like plant costume where it has a tiny little bulb that periodically turns a light on and off on the bulb. And that's it.
Oh, so there's basically dark areas.
Yeah, but you can't, like, manually turn it on and off. It just does it when it feels like it.
Okay, so it stays on for a set period, then turns off, then turns back on again.
Yeah. There are a distressing amount of costumes in this game where their functions are described as it activates when it feels like it. Not my words, the game's words.
So in other words, it just... no.
There's one particularly infamous one in, I think, the 4th or 5th world, which turns you into an immobile cube that you cannot control, but it retains your momentum. And it activates whenever it feels like it. You're supposed to use it down slopes to, like, build up speed and break through obstacles, but because it activates whenever it feels like it, and more often than not just activates when you're trying to run towards something, and then you end up sliding off a ledge. I told you, a lot of these did not need to be costumes.
Yeah, or at least work out, like, a lot of the costumes, because here's the thing. If they just activate when they want to, again, that's not really good game design.
The thing is, we got another giant girl. This one's a kid, so I'm not going to make the giantess fetish joke about it. But
please don't, no.
Yeah. Like, the reason that some of these activate, quote, when they feel like it, is because of the one-button gameplay design. These are costumes that jump, so you can't map another button to make them activate their unique feature, because that button is already used. This would be solved by having, I don't know, 2 buttons.
God forbid, how many buttons you got on a controller? You might as well. You've got
minimum. You've got bare minimum 8 to 12 buttons on a controller for anything past the PS1 generation.
Hold on. Technically,
depends on whether you count like start.
Depends
on whether you count like start, select, and D-pad as buttons.
Yeah, well, I was gonna think about D-pad as well as L3 and R3 because with the D-pad, you could use that as like you could have that be the thing that switches costumes, and then just have like the shoulders or triggers to activate the costume.
Yeah, like have it so you store 4 costumes instead of 3, or you have 3 and then you can turn back into your base form with another, with like the other, you know, unmapped, not mapped to a costume D-pad button. But the D-pad goes unused in this game outside of menus.
See, with a game like this, or like any platformer, I would like that isn't like 3D space though, I would like to use a D-pad because it just feels a lot more comfortable to me.
For me, it depends on whether the game is designed with full analog movement in mind. It's the difference between, like, Spyro 1 has analog controls, technically, but it feels more like mapping a D-pad to an analog stick, whereas Spyro 2 onwards was built with the DualShock in mind, and therefore feels a lot more natural to play with.
Yeah, for me, it's just a matter of, like, for me with fighting games, I like using a D-pad because it's easier to input. Like, I don't like using stick for some reason. I'm just uncomfortable with it.
Yeah, analog sticks especially, you can get a lot of, like, missed inputs or, like, improper inputs when trying to do, like, your special inputs.
Yeah.
Because there's 360 degrees that can go in versus just 8 directions.
Yeah.
Like, I would argue more often than not, 3D platformers control better. Or at least post PS1 generation control better with a, analog stick than a D-pad. But there are some where they offer both, and sometimes the D-pad is better for certain scenarios than others.
Yeah. See, for me, it just depends on the 3D platformer. I mean, with obviously with like the N64 and the GameCube, like those feel a lot more comfortable. Mainly the N64 as well, because with like it has like 8, like I think it's like what, like 8 different corners to where the controls can lock in and you get more precise movement. Same with the GameCube. Whereas with a D-pad, usually like with games like Kirby 64, it's like a 2D 2.5D or 2.5D game.
Yeah, it's 2.5D.
Yeah, it's a 2.5D game. It still uses the D-pad, but it still works without using the analog because you're more connected to a track instead of like going through the background. But it feels like you can actually go into the background.
Yeah. And there are some games where they do offer analog control, but I still think D-pad works better. Like Crash Bandicoot, a lot of times for like the more classic styled Crash Bandicoot games, 1, 2, 3, and then It's About Time. I feel like they feel a little bit better to play with a D-pad because, like, the best way I've heard Crash Bandicoot's approach to environment and control design is it's Donkey Kong Country, but you're going forwards instead of sideways.
Yeah, and then another game with a 2.5D that like you could play as both either analog or D-pad is L Sword. I played that game, and that game came out like I forgot, like 2008 or 2007. I forgot which. I've been playing it since 2011, and I tried playing both ways, both analog and D-pad, and like either way, just like the Kirby 64, I feel like it's more comfortable with the D-pad because, again, it swaps between the 2.5D and 2D way of playing, and plus, since being a fighting game, it makes it easier to do a little more input.
Yeah. Yeah, all this to say, like, Balan Wonderworld opens up a lot of room for discussion about gameplay design, because it's just such a fascinating failure on every front, except for, audiovisual. Even then, on a story front, it fails because the story's not in the game. You have to buy the tie-in novel to get the whole story of the game.
I feel like this game could have succeeded, but unfortunately, it just had a shit director behind the helm.
Like, it could have succeeded, but it would have needed either a different director who's not full of himself, or it would have needed some serious intervention from the executives, which is something you almost never actively want to happen, but in this case, it's sorely needed.
Yeah, because like there's some ideas here, like on the same levels as that of like again Chibi Robo and so on, but if it had more time, a better direction, and a lot more guidance, it could have done well. Like it could have been something, but again, for one thing, selling a novel to get the full story of a game
that at launch was $60.
Yeah, and whatever the price of the novel is,
$10. $10 for the ebook copy.
Basically, you're paying $70 altogether just to understand what this game is.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, I actually bought the novel today on Amazon Kindle, so I could read it for a potential review and like dissection of like how it fails as a 3D platformer, as opposed to just, you know, roll up, everyone point at the freak. But like, from what I've heard, the novel's actually really good. Like, the novel is so good that people wish it was in the game, in like a readable form.
So in sense, it's more so the context and the story is better than the actual gameplay.
Yeah, there are people that have even argued, you know, with the benefit of hindsight, this would have worked better as like an anime or a movie than as a video game.
Probably.
All right, we are going to wrap things up here. We're all starting to get tired.
Yeah, as fun as this game is, I'm like, okay.
I will say it's been fun having people to discuss it with and like talk about it as I'm playing it. I have played it on my own almost to the end of the game before, and that was not fun because it gets very repetitive. Like, you get into the same... Like, there is the idea of a core gameplay loop that's inherent in good game design. But this goes in the wrong direction of, instead of having a core gameplay loop, that gameplay loop is all there is.
I think what he was trying to bank on was like the Sonic 1, 2, and 3 formula. Like, the gameplay loop, despite the different ways of playing it, the gameplay loop stuck and made the game successful. Whereas this game, it basically just tried to copy Sonic 1, 2, and 3 in terms of like how to make it simple. But it's just not... But you're adding like a lot of elements that are not helping its case.
I'd also argue that Yuji Naka's whole like, oh, we need to make it extremely simplistic to make it so kids can play it, because kids were his target demographic for this game, rather than, you know, people that were fans of his work and would know who the hell he is, and therefore be excited for a new game from him with a character that looks like someone from Knights. It's very condescending, because it's this idea of, oh, kids can't handle more than one button controls.
See, I feel like this game would be aimed towards like almost early years, like you know those early year kid games where it's just like 1 or 2 buttons. Basically, like kids are like 3 to like 5 years old.
Yeah.
Basically, I see it being like that, but
yeah, it feels like that's kind of what the target demo he was what he had in mind when he said kids was. But like, when you look into like the story beats that are presented here, what little there are, it has some stuff that would scare kids in it.
Yeah, definitely. Then again, Yuji Naka was with Sega. Sega back in the 90s, great games, but they had a lot of questionable things in it. Example being Mansion of Hidden Souls is an example, because there were certain gameplay elements in there, like they're not terrifying as in like photographic horror or like jump scares, but the tense atmosphere and sound direction, plus with you not knowing what's going on, that added to it. And like it's just then just a lot of stuff. You can get away with a lot more.
Yeah, I want to clarify that I'm not someone who thinks that like media needs to be super sanitized for young kids. I think that kids are smarter and can handle more than we give them credit for. It's just that it's a disconnect between like there are some more mature themes in this game than kids of that age would properly comprehend and understand. But it's meshed with like all these bright, colorful, kiddie visuals and very simplistic controls and overall like nonsense presentation and game design, that it feels less like, a kid's game and more like the kind of fake kids game you would see being played on a TV show.
Yeah, I feel like this game was on a lot of drugs, and again, like I said earlier, was Yuji Naka's cry for help.
Yeah, and his cry for help was met with 2 years probation for insider trading.
Well, he got the help he needed.
He then proceeded to say that everyone, including Naoto Oshima, backstabbed him, and he like posted photos of them to his group photos of the old Knights development team to Twitter with all the faces blacked out or crossed out except for him, because it's like all these people let me down or betrayed me over the years. And it's like, dude, own up, please.
Look, nobody whispered in your ear to tell you to do the things that you did.
No one told you to make this game the way it was designed. This was you.
This was just you being like, I want to do a thing, but I did a thing, and now it's on fire, but it's a glorious fire.
It's like it's everyone else's fault for not stopping me from doing the thing.
Oh my god. Anyway, this was an interesting night. I will be honest with you, this was a little painful, but it's not like with Bubsy 3D.
Yeah.
Bubsy at all.
Yeah. Let's see who is live from the Eldenwood team to raid. Because I do want to pass that Eldenwood love on to someone that could use it. We are going to raid. Let's see. We are going to raid Miss Michelle Jean, who is doing a charity D&D stream.
Ooh. I'm still laughing at last night how you rolled a 0.
Yeah, and I did title the VOD that like you requested.
Oh, God.
Alrighty. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you to all my co-hosts tonight for joining me. Thank you to Lolija for the raid. Go give the players a warm welcome, and if you can, donate to their charity for the Immigrant Defense Fund.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys tomorrow night with Mega Man X3. Until then, unpleasant dreams.
Yuji Naka, get some help, my dude.
Good night, everybody.